Hey, podcast listeners. Welcome to my current episode, which is titled Shame Makes Us Stupid, but Truth Sets Us Free. So before we begin, please, as always, subscribe to this podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and feel free to give me an awesome review online and share this with a friend. There we go. So let's talk about how shame makes us stupid. Denial actually makes us stupid, and it has a relationship to shame, which we're about to jump into. Denial makes us stupid because we are adhering to a delusional construct of reality, which shuts down much of our brain. When we choose denial, we develop what I like to call tunnel vision, as we only see ourselves and are unable to see anyone else. This is what is underneath narcissism, as narcissists ascribe to major denial as they are constantly denying the shame that they chronically feel. This is why narcissists can at times be so smart and dumb all at once. Their tunnel vision might allow them to be a brilliant salesperson, engineer, or gifted artist, but their intelligence is so limited as they are in the dark about things that might seem obvious to the rest of us. Shame keeps them from learning from their mistakes because they refuse to admit that they make mistakes, which is actually how humans learn. When we forego all self-awareness, it obscures a lot of reality, and you simply cannot have wisdom. This makes for great reconnaissance when dealing with a narcissist, which, by the way, includes most people to some degree. Narcissism is on a spectrum, and it depends how much shame that person has. So, in other words, it is important for dealing with all people in any capacity. The people with the most shame, the most serious narcissists, are in the most denial. They also lack trust. This is because the ability to trust others and ourselves is cultivated in the first few years of life, when our primary attachment figure does not provide us with good enough or consistent enough nurture during those first years. We cannot develop the capacity to trust others or ourselves. Additionally, when our attachment figure is inconsistent, it creates tremendous shame because our young selves assume the lack of nurture is an us problem. Because narcissists do not trust others, they won't understand you when you speak the truth. The truth is like a foreign language to them, and their response to it will reveal this, as you will feel completely unheard or misunderstood. Don't waste your breath trying to help them understand. It simply will not work. There is no degree of explanation that can help a narcissist understand, because the brain cannot comprehend something that it has already walled off. Narcissists won't trust your motives when you try to help them or show kindness to them. I remember one time how I offered to pray for my mother when she was having a toothache. When she saw the genuine empathy on my face, I'd never seen her look more afraid. She didn't trust it, and she didn't trust herself to take it in and actually feel vulnerable and feel loved. Because they don't trust human kindness, narcissists adhere to a transactional way of relating to others, where if you do something for them, they will return it in kind and repay you. This is not a courtesy. It's that they simply do not want to be in your debt, because if you have been generous to them in any way, they don't trust you not to leverage their debt against them. Finally, a narcissist is always in dire need of feeding their narcissistic supply, which feeds their fragile ego and combats shame. This is usually attention of some type, and even negative attention will do for many people. This can entail their ability to make others laugh, to command the conversation, their stage presence, their clothing, or anything that makes them feel special, often their sexuality. For example, I had a former friend who was actually very quiet and shy, but she wore extremely bold, bright clothes that another friend actually observed and said that she would dress like Elton John. That was her way of feeding her narcissistic supply. My mother would derive her attention from being angry and seeing the reaction that it caused in others. That was her narcissistic supply. My father would make himself the center of attention by compulsively making people laugh. So for narcissists, all the world is their stage, and you are their audience. Now, you're safe if you stay as their audience and you stay in your seat. But should you compete with them at all, you will feel their hatred. What all narcissists have in common is a fierce competitiveness for that attention. They might hate you just for being attractive before you ever open your mouth. They might hate you because you are confident and they don't trust that it's real. They think you are posturing just like they chronically do, and they think you're phony. They're projecting. They might hate you for stealing the attention in any way, even if you are not aware of it. Remember, narcissists are fueled by shame, and shame is a type of self-contempt. So underneath their narcissistic guise, they are miserable. They are certain if you were to really know them, you would hate them too. If you fail to smile and make eye contact with them, they will believe you hate them. If you create a boundary with them, they will feel utterly despised. When we know these things, narcissists actually become quite predictable, and there are no surprises on our end. We can be strategic. Narcissists seek an audience, but their kryptonite is a mirror that gives them a true reflection of themselves. The minute you mirror them with truth, you're the one with the power, not them. There is no need for any kind of cruelty or disparaging. The truth does the work for us. We simply narrate what they're doing from an objective stance, such as by saying, I'm noticing you're ignoring what I just said, and I'm curious why that is. Or, I'm hearing deflection away from the topic at hand. Or we might say, I'm hearing racist speech, and it's very disturbing. Or, I'm noticing anxiety when the focus is not on you. Prefacing our sentences with things like I'm hearing, I'm noticing, and I'm feeling is key. And that gives us that objectivity. And it makes us a mirror. The truth activates shame in narcissists, which is paralyzing. Now, sure, initially you're going to experience, or we're going to experience, defensiveness, denial, and attacking, most likely. But our job is to just stand firm at every turn, reflecting the truth. We say, I'm hearing denying and attacking in efforts to avoid the truth. The truth must be hard to hear right now. The truth is the antidote. And here's what makes it magical. Truth binds wicked people and simultaneously sets us free. We might think of truth as a double-edged sword or as a gate of justice that releases the captives and binds the people who need to be bound. We do not have to betray ourselves in order to wield it. And every time we speak truth, we grow stronger. Won't you join this growing movement of truth speaking? It is liberating and life-giving, and you will not be alone. Thank you for listening today.